is there any opposition or objection to Mr. Hicks if he would like to be heard at the hearing today?
There absolutely is.
This to me is a matter where it should just be settled very quickly. Put the plate sticker on, put yourself at the mercy of the court, pay up to a $150 fine, and be done with it.
The Clermont County prosecutor will not be appointed. The Adams County prosecutor's office will not be appointed. It will be another prosecutor's office or another person that this court feels is independent.
Mr. Haslam, can you take a second to comment about your residence here? Where is the truck actually registered? Mr. Haslam, do you care more about this than your cousin Kevin Gaffin gonna die in prison? It is a rainy, chilly, windy day here on Wednesday, October 29th, where Judge Gabbert just finished his summons hearing on Aaron Haslam not having a county sticker on his license plate. I think it lasted like 40 minutes. Haslam had his Cincinnati counsel here, and he does not appear to be man enough to just stand up and say, I screwed up, I put the plate sticker on, and I'm glad to pay the $150 fine and be done with this. He doesn't have the guts to do that. I swear I feel like Aaron Haslam is more stressed about this license plate thing than he is about his cousin, Kevin Gaffin, going to die in prison because of potentially a ridiculously inadequate defense. So I recorded the whole hearing, and you can listen to it. I get to talk. It sounds like what's going to happen is the judge himself, Judge Gabbert, who's a charming guy, by the way. I don't know if he's a great judge or an average judge or what, but he's charming in the courtroom, that he's going to appoint the special prosecutor to have somebody independent. Ultimately, I think trying to weasel out of things, Aaron Haslam and his counsel withdrew the appointment of Brian Stry from Clermont County. They also withdrew their motion for a continuance. So ultimately, he's got to put a plate sticker on that plate. I just don't understand this. It's just so embarrassing that this is your prosecutor in Adams County, a guy that refuses to talk. Oh, and one last thing, by the way, just coming out of the courtroom, I try to ask him a question about his residence. He puts his head down like a perp and barrels past me. It's just embarrassing. It is embarrassing, but I'm glad to report on it. It's news. And I think that the more people in Adams County and beyond that get informed on some of these kind of characters that are serving as prosecutors across the state of Ohio, the better off we're going to be as a state to maybe clean this up and get a better caliber of prosecutors in place, maybe in Adams County and other counties as well.
All rise. The court is now in session. The Honorable Roy E. Gabbert Jr. presiding.
Thank you all for the courtesy of standing as I came to court. Please, everybody be seated. Welcome here today. Thank you for being in our courtroom today. Know that you're welcome here in whatever respect you are here today. Whether you're a litigant, an attorney, a member of the media, court reporter, visitor, staff, know that you're welcome in our courtroom. You folks are the taxpayers of the state of Ohio. You're the citizens here of Adams County. So you pay for this building, you pay for this room. Thank you. I think I have the best job in the world when I get to come to this building every day, and I thank you for paying for it. If no public person has ever thanked you as a taxpayer, I thank you. You pay for this place, and this is your courthouse. This is your courtroom. So welcome to your house. Welcome to your courthouse. Welcome to your room. Welcome to your courtroom. All of my life, I felt when people come to courthouses or courtrooms, it's because there's something important that they need to accomplish. Maybe someone wants to pay their real estate taxes. That's important to them, so they come to the courthouse to do it. Maybe you love your puppy dog, so you come to the courthouse, the county auditor's office, to get dog tags. Maybe you have a small claim or an eviction, traffic ticket. Whatever you're in your courthouse for today, whatever reason you've come to your courtroom today, it's important to you, and if it's important to you, it's important to me. And my hope is that when we are done here today, you will feel I have treated you as if your case was the most important case that I've ever heard. Everyone will be treated with courtesy and respect. I always say, if you've got any anger or strong emotion, we're going to ball that up. We're going to set that strong emotion and anger out into the cool autumn rain and let it wash on down to Brush Creek and down the Ohio River. It is a rainy autumn day today, and I've always felt that flowers and crops grow when it rains, and we should raise our words, not raise our voices, because crops and flowers grow from rain, not thunder. I think I am prepared to go on the record at this time if our court reporter would like to do that. We're on the record now. This is a case styled in the matter of a private citizen affidavit regarding Aaron Evans Haslam. This is case number TRD 2501583. Today is Wednesday, October the 29th of 2025. Present in the courtroom, the respondent, potential defendant, Aaron Evans Haslam, is here in his individual capacity represented by counsel from the firm Bricker Graydon, Ms. Leslie Giz. Very welcome here today, Ms. Giz. Present also in the courtroom is Mr. Christopher Hicks, who is the private citizen who filed the private citizen affidavit. Also welcome. As a review of the matter, a private citizen affidavit was filed by Mr. Christopher Hicks on October the 15th of 2025. The private citizen affidavit of Mr. Hicks requested the judge of this court, which is to say asked for me as the judge of this court, as a reviewing official pertaining to an alleged minor misdemeanor traffic offense involving a failure to display a county identification sticker on a license plate. The private citizen affidavit of Mr. Hicks alleged that the owner-operator of a vehicle with the allegedly legally infirm license plate sticker was Mr. Aaron Haslam. By way of a journal entry dated October the 16th of 2025, which would have been the day following Mr. Hicks' filing of the private citizen affidavit, the judge of this court, which is to say me, acting as the reviewing official, found that the facts presented by filer Hicks in the private citizen affidavit were reasonable, not facially meritorious. So as such, as the judge of this court, acting as a reviewing official, I referred the matter to the executive branch of our local government for a decision regarding prosecuting or not prosecuting a charge or a complaint on the traffic citation allegation. This referral by our law and our custom was to the Adams County Prosecutor's Office. Now, the court also issued a summons for Mr. Haslam's appearance today, and I thank you, Mr. Haslam, for being in court today. I know it was a summons, but I do thank you for your appearance in court today. Was really because of the complicating factor about this matter is that the respondent in the private citizen affidavit, who may be a potential defendant, which is to say Mr. Haslam, is also the duly elected, currently serving Adams County prosecuting attorney. So as my dad used to say, that makes the cheese more binding because you're not really sure exactly how to handle a case where the referring complaint or the referral goes to a person who is also the county prosecutor. So this court set today's hearing because the court wanted and desired some input from the parties regarding the possible need for a special prosecutor to be appointed, the process, the path forward in regard to the administration of the matter. Now, in the intervening period of time between the referral, which was on October the 16th of 2025, and today's hearing, which is October 29th of 2025, Mr. Haslam, in his role as the Adams County prosecuting attorney, so not really as his individual capacity or his role as the respondent or the potential defendant, but as the prosecuting attorney, filed a motion. That was filed October the 22nd, 2025, moving the court for an appointment of a special prosecutor. That motion also requested that this court appoint the Clermont County Prosecuting Attorney's Office as that special prosecutor. At which time Mr. Hicks, Christopher Hicks, then filed a response to that motion opposing the appointment of the Clermont County Prosecutor's Office as the special prosecutor. Mr. Haslam then filed a response to the response, discussing several items, largely providing his position regarding proper courts, who has the power to make appointments of special prosecutors, Now, Mr. Haslam also retained Ms. Giz and Braden as attorneys, filed a notice of appearance on Monday of this week and requested a continuance of today's hearing. So our first order of business, which is to say as a threshold issue or a threshold matter, is that there needs to be a ruling on Mr. Haslam's motion for a continuance of today's hearing. So if counsel, Ms. Giz, would like to be heard on the motion to continue today's hearing, which was filed Monday of this week. Ms. Giz, welcome to the court.
Thank you, Judge Gabbard. We are going to withdraw a motion for continuance at this time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the withdrawal of the motion to continuance. I think the people who are here are in the room where it happens, so to speak. I'll try not to sing any of the Hamilton songs, but we're here in the room, and I thank you for that. When I first became a judge, way back as an acting judge, probably 27 years ago, one of the biggest complaints people had was that a court would set a hearing, and then the first thing that would happen is that there would be a request for a continuance, and then everybody would have to undo the rearrangement of their schedules, people who had arranged their schedules to be at a certain place, or perhaps even witnesses that were ready to come. And oddly enough, that's one of the complaints I hear most frequently about our system, is that people will come, be ready for a hearing, and then it gets continued or put off. So I thank Ms. Giz and Mr. Haslam for withdrawing that motion. I think we're all here. I think we're prepared to maybe move on with the business of the day. And really, that business then would be to work on Mr. Haslam's, or in this case, I think the Adams County Prosecuting Attorney's motion to appoint a special prosecutor, which is to say, Ms. Giz, if you'd like to be heard on that motion, which was also filed, I think, by Mr. Haslam. If you'd like to be heard, your thoughts on the special prosecutor in this case?
Well, I think it's pretty standard in a case like this, simply because the subject of a potential criminal referral is the actual prosecuting attorney. Unusual circumstances, of course. But the point being, I don't think it's unusual when cases like this come up, or the prosecutor may have a personal conflict, one of the judges may have a personal conflict. They appoint special counsel for that, and I don't think it's out of the ballpark for them, nor is it unusual for them to ask to have Clermont County. I know they've done a number of these in Adams County, so I don't think it is outside the realm of reason for them to ask that the Clermont County prosecutor be appointed to this. I do understand that there's an objection to that, then when the time comes, I'd be happy to make my own objection to the objection.
Okay, sure. Question I'd have for you, Ms. Giz, on that, as far as the appointment of a special prosecutor in a case such as this, under the statute, is that something that the common pleas court has to do? Is that something that the appellate court has to do? Or is that something that I can do as the county court judge?
Well, the statute says specifically the common pleas court or the appellate court, but I think in practice, it is whichever court it is in front of, if that's the commonality of it. So in other words, it was brought here, I don't think it would be out of bounds for you to be the one to sign off on it. As a matter of practice, I don't think it is one of these issues that is really looked at more than, okay, they're going to appoint a special prosecutor, I'm signing my name, move on to the next thing. At least, in Hamilton County, which is much larger, of course, that's the way we used to handle those matters. So I think you're not outside your purview to make the decision, and it would be my argument that you're not.
Sure.
However, of course, a moment.
Sure.
Okay.
Does it have any difference if whether the matter's really pending or not? And I
Yeah,
know
that's what I was getting ready to say.
it's probably frustrating, Ms. Giz, to have two people talking to you at the
Right,
same
no,
time. That's what it is.
I'm used to it. I've
I
got two
apologize
children.
unreservedly. You probably feel like you're-
It is not unusual. I get pulled on both sides all the time. One moment, please, sir.
Sure.
Okay, so I think the issue, and this was just being brought to my attention, and I apologize, I didn't write the original motion. is that they are, Common Pleas is divested of traffic citations. So that would be municipal court.
Sure.
You would be, the county court would be able to sign.
Sure, I feel in some ways, thank you, Ms. Giz, Mr. Haslam, I appreciate that. It feels in some cases one of those things that may be ending up being a difference with no real distinction. And I had to review a little bit of my old high school civics. Common pleas courts are constitutionally created courts. They're part of the Ohio Constitution, the common pleas court of every county. County courts or municipal courts are really a creature of statute. We were created with certain things that we do and certain things we don't do, which is to say misdemeanors, traffic cases, certain types of disputes less than $15,000. There's only certain things that we do, and statute really tells us what we do as far as county courts and municipal courts. And I think it was in Mr. Haslam's motion or filing or response that was filed on the 22nd, I think, of October. The case that was referred to, which was a 10th district case involving the mayor of Columbus. There was a case where the mayor of Columbus had a private citizen affidavit filed against the mayor of Columbus. And the ruling tended to be that at this stage, there is no case pending yet, which is to say Mr. Haslam hasn't been charged with anything. It will be if there is a charge, it will be done by a prosecuting attorney or someone who reviews the case and decides whether or not there is if there's anything here to charge on. And the statute 294163, it feels like what the legislature might have been intending to do with that statute is, in a case that would be pending in a court, the common pleas judge would appoint a special prosecutor, or the Court of Appeals judges would appoint a special prosecutor. And the holding of the 10th District Court was that at this stage, which is at the stage of a private citizen affidavit, there's not a case pending yet. So that, therefore, the inherent judicial authority, which sounds like a phrase, but that's the one that the appellate courts seem to use, the inherent judicial authority would be that the municipal judge, the county court judge, would be within their normal rights to appoint a special prosecutor because there's no case pending. If there is a case that will ever be pending, which hasn't been decided yet, it would be a minor misdemeanor traffic waivable citation type of thing that would be heard in a municipal court or a county court. So I'm happy to think about that, and I have thought about that. There is always the temptation to kick the thing upstairs to a common pleas judge. They're the best judges we have, and Judge Brett Spencer is one of the best common pleas judges in the state of Ohio, and I'd be happy to kick the job upstairs to Brett Spencer and let him worry about it. But I don't think there's necessarily anything about the statute 294163 and the inherent judicial authority that would prevent the appointment of a special prosecutor in this court. So I'm happy to have the input from Ms. Giz and Mr. Haslam on that topic. I suppose maybe the last thing I would ask is, as far as the appointment of the special prosecutor, Mr. Haslam's motion was that be the Clermont County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. That's still the position of the respondent here?
It is, Your Honor. That's still the position of the Adams County Prosecutor.
Well, my thoughts on that are... Sure.
I'm going to continue, just because Mr. Haslam could potentially be a defendant. That's why I'm speaking on his behalf. So I apologize to continue to interrupt. Clermont County agreed to take it. It doesn't necessarily have to be anyone specifically, but since they have agreed to take it, it would move a lot more quickly, given that they're fully prepared to jump on.
And I thank you for that, Ms. Giz. And in almost any other circumstance, and by that I mean this, I have had private citizen affidavits filed asking me, as a court of record, to be a reviewing official. I've had that happen before. I suppose the most humorous one, during the COVID times, there was a person who filed a private citizen affidavit against Governor DeWine, unhappy with how Governor DeWine was running the COVID situation, and filed a private citizen affidavit. And as the reviewing official, I just found it meritless and sort of foolish, and never referred it on to any executive branch. I think that's within the reviewing official's decision-making capacity. If it's not reasonable, if it's facially meritless, if there's nothing to it at all, then the reviewing official just simply dismisses it or files that it's not being sent on to the executive branch. If it is sent on, the other time I have experience is that it's sent to my local prosecutor, which is to say, I'm the judge. I have a role in our separation of powers world, and the prosecutor, who I respect very much, in their role in that separation of powers. And the old joke we used to tell was that on these types of things, the judge is the OBGYN and the prosecutor is the pediatrician. When the baby's born, they hand them over. And that's kind of what I do on a referral of this kind of, traditionally, is that I just review it. If there's something there, I refer it to the prosecuting attorney. The prosecuting attorney handles it. And if the prosecuting attorney feels that they're conflicted, then they would appoint someone, and it goes on without interruption. The difference here, of course, is that, and I'll just be open about this, Mr. Haslam, as our duly elected serving prosecuting attorney, he has that hat that he wears. And then there's also, in this case, the hat that he's the respondent, perhaps a potential defendant. That's not yet decided. And whether or not there is an impropriety with Mr. Haslam choosing his own prosecutor, so that's a thing that I think about on that. So I thank Ms. Gibbs, Mr. Haslam, for their work on that. Mr. Hicks, you are here today. You are the private citizen who filed the private citizen affidavit. I'm happy to talk for a second to you about what I think you are and what I think you are not. You are not a victim in the sense of Marcy's Law with certain rights, which is to say, in our court system now there are constitutional protections under Marcy's Law for victims who have the right to be present and participate, and I don't really believe that you are that. You are the affiant, or the person who signed the private citizen affidavit. You also don't have any particular right to the prosecution of the case. That would be up to the prosecutor, which is to say, in our world, there are citizens who are very important, there are judges who have importance, and there are prosecutors, and we all have a separate role to play. Ultimately, whether there is a case filed or not filed, it will be up to what I think we all agree will be a special prosecutor somewhere. But I wanted to give you the opportunity. You are not required to say anything today, and I'll give opportunity. Ms. Gibbs, is there any opposition or objection to Mr. Hicks if he would like to be heard at the hearing today?
There absolutely is.
Sure.
Your Honor, Mr. Hicks he's not a resident of Adams County. He hasn't suffered any individual harm as a result of this, and there's no pending criminal case yet. So as a result, he shouldn't be heard. He has no standing whatsoever in this. It's between my client and the court at this point, and the prosecutor's office and the court. It has nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Hicks. So I definitively object to him being allowed to speak.
And Ms. Gibbs, I note that you have objected to it, and it's on the record of your objection. At this stage in the proceedings, I'm going to have Mr. Hicks, if he would like to provide a statement, and Mr. Hicks, you're not required to, but we have a spot where people come up and are heard. My reason that I think Mr. Hicks has something to offer the court today is really around one issue and one important issue, which is if the prosecuting attorney has moved to select the Clermont County Prosecutor's Office as sort of his own choice of prosecutor. I think Mr. Hicks, in his response, had some important information that I would like to have on the record and be heard. And Ms. Giz, if you'd like one more objection, and you're very welcome.
I'm certainly getting an exercise here, standing up and down. Actually, at this time, the prosecutor's office is willing to withdraw their motion to appoint Clermont County, and would be happy if you'd like to appoint whoever you want.
Okay. Mr. Hicks, if you'd like to be heard in regard to whatever else is on your mind today, I am happy to do that. Sounds like the prosecuting attorney for Mr. Haslam and the Adams County Prosecuting Attorney's Office has withdrawn the part of their motion in regard to the recommendation to this court, or the asking that the Clermont County Prosecutor. But if there's anything, Mr. Hicks, you'd like to be heard on today, I'm happy if you'd like to come up and be heard on it. And I note the objection of Ms. Giz and Mr. Haslam. And Mr. Hicks, you're not required to come up and say anything, but you are welcome to be heard. If you'd like to come up, we've got a small podium here that is within our ability of our audio recording system to pick up your voice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
One moment. Your Honor, is he going to be limited to the Clermont County? Are his comments going to be limited to his objection to the Clermont County prosecutor being appointed? Because that's been withdrawn.
Sure. The answer is I'm not going to limit Mr. Hicks from saying anything. If I feel he's boring me, or that he's getting to the point where he's repeating himself, then I'll stop him. But until then, I'll have him be heard, and your objection is noted.
Okay, thank you.
Do I need to be sworn in?
You do not. This is not a hearing where there's going to be testimony, so you are not under oath. You are here as a person providing information to the court in regard to your thoughts about the special prosecutor appointment.
Well, I'll be very succinct and address 2 points, because I assume this was going to be my bite at the apple for having comments, and when I do it succinctly. So
your bite of the apple.
So I'll finish with the prosecutor, the Clermont County prosecutor, which has been withdrawn. But on the actual matter, the private citizen affidavit, just because for the record, I've repeatedly took pictures of this pickup truck, of which Mr. Haslam is either the owner or the operator or both, through many times being in West Union, which I've come to actually enjoy coming to West Union, as not having a plate sticker on there. I've had people send me pictures of when it did have a plate sticker on there, but it was removed, they tell me, because of razzing during a parade about having a Hamilton County plate sticker. Frankly, before I get to the prosecutor thing, we've been here for almost a half hour. This to me is a matter where it should just be settled very quickly. Put the plate sticker on, put yourself at the mercy of the court, pay up to a $150 fine, and be done with it. Because every day, if it's not resolved, every day that plate sticker is not on there is another day of a violation. So I could file a private citizen affidavit 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, as long as I keep observing that truck without that plate sticker on there, just like a speeding ticket. Every day is another violation. So I think it should just get resolved. And frankly, I love the opportunity to speak. I drove here from Clermont County, but I just don't understand why the responses aren't just, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I'm fixing it, it's resolved. If the judge wants to fine me $150, I'll pay the $150 and be done with this. As it relates to the appointment of a special prosecutor, let me finish with that, is there are plenty of attorneys and prosecutor's office employees, assistant prosecutors, that have no connection to either Mr. Haslam or me. But we keep seeming to have this thing here where the person that gets appointed is not just the Clermont County's prosecutor's office, and I know that's been withdrawn, but it's Brian Shrive in particular. And Brian Shrive has a long history with me involving a lot of litigation relating to records and so forth in Clermont County. And that office has a long relationship with Aaron Haslam. The thing that caused me to start focusing on Mr. Haslam was when his office served as a special prosecutor on a matter in Clermont County, and Tyler Cantrell didn't call the witness that was sitting in the courtroom to an assault. And that's what caused me to look into what happened here. That seemed off. So, Your Honor, I think that, I know they've withdrawn the motion, but I actually think the court, I think it's in Mr. Haslam's interest that whoever's appointed is somebody that has absolutely no connection to him or me, ever. Has never had a connection. And there's too many. I'm going to make a joke about the law. My wife tells me I have to tell people when I'm making a joke beforehand. So I'll make a joke about the law community is there's too many lawyers that have no connection to Mr. Haslam or Mr. Me, or to me. So I would encourage that perhaps, because this withdrawal, there'll be something else I'll be objecting, is the court or somebody who is completely independent find a special prosecutor who has absolutely no connection to either Mr. Haslam or me. But even better would be just get this over with, put the plate sticker on, offer to pay the $150 fine, and walk away. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're very welcome here today. Thank you, Mr. Hicks. Anything else, Ms. Giz, that you'd like to be heard on today, or Mr. Haslam, Ms. Giz?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Very well. I appreciate everybody being here today, for the respectful nature of the hearing, the information that can be gathered here today. There are a few things that I think I can find and rule on today. The first thing is I will acknowledge again that Mr. Haslam's motion to continue was withdrawn, so that will take care of that motion that was out there. In regard to a ruling on the motion to appoint a special prosecutor, I'm one of those people that will almost any circumstance try to find a Venn diagram where there's something that everyone can agree on, and it feels like the part of the motion to appoint a special prosecutor is the Venn diagram where everyone agrees. Mr. Hicks and Mr. Haslam, who may not agree on very much, agree on the idea that there needs to be a special prosecutor. In this case, that is also something that I agree, which is to say, I do believe that when the respondent of a private citizen affidavit, who may or may not become a defendant, is the county prosecutor, that the county prosecutor's office is conflicted and we need a special prosecutor. The special prosecutor, that part of the motion will be granted. The part of the motion that has to do with who to appoint as the special prosecutor, that may be a heavier lift than some think. And by that I mean, first of all, I do believe that this court, which is to say the county court or the municipal court, has the inherent judicial authority to make the appointment of the special prosecutor in a case that's not yet pending. If the case had been pending already, then I think the statute requires the common pleas judge or a court of appeals judge to make the appointment. And in a case that's not yet pending, I think the rule of the law as interpreted by the appellate level is that this court may make that. And I'm not going to run from that responsibility as much as I would love to make Judge Spencer's court have to make that call. I will appoint a special prosecutor, and I will do that. Which I think leaves really the one thing that's not finished among all the points that have been brought up, which is who that special prosecutor will be when I appoint that special prosecutor. And there are different directions that the case could go once the reviewing official hands it off to a prosecutor. That special prosecutor may look at this case and use the prosecutorial discretion of, we've got real crime out here, we're not going to bring any case. That would be the prosecutor's decision, prosecutorial discretion, that they're not going to bring any case. It could also be some type of a prosecutorial discretion where there is a remedial measure taken. When I was a young man, 36 years ago, and started practicing law, our prosecuting attorney was, at that time, Alan Foster. He had a conflict, and I was a member of the defense bar at the time. And Judge Foster, at that time, prosecuting attorney Foster, appointed me, probably saw us starving to death and needed a few dollars. The county paid $25 an hour, whether you earned it or not, to do that kind of work. And it was a kind of a case where people were back and forth about criminal trespass, and it was a property line and one of those kind of cases. And both of the parties wanted me to bring as a special prosecutor a criminal trespass against the other guy. He's crossing my line. He's crossing my line. So what I did is I just said, well, let's get Bob Satterfield out there to survey the line, agree to pay for a fence, and then everybody quit trespassing. That's what they agreed to do, and there was no case. I didn't bring any case. Never took it to a grand jury, never brought a complaint. I just had a couple of phone calls, and they agreed to throw a little surveying business to Bob Satterfield, and that solved the problem. And that may be the type of thing that might happen here, which is to say, without making any judgment about what's going on, sometimes a remedial measure can make a prosecutor decide there is no reason to file the case. There is the other side of it, which is to say the independent prosecutor, special prosecutor, may decide to issue some sort of a traffic citation that could be waived with a fine paid, or you could come to court and we could have an arraignment and a trial on that. That is all speculation. I'm the judge. I'm the reviewing official. I'm not the person who decides prosecutorial discretion. I am patriotic about the separation of powers. I think it is important that judges do what judges do, prosecutors do what prosecutors do, and there will be a special prosecutor that will decide if or not any citation or complaint would be filed. I feel a little bit like I'm going to be releasing doves up into the air when the special prosecutor is appointed. The dove might come back with nothing, which means the flood's still on. The dove might come back with an olive leaf, which means that things are starting to grow, or the dove might not come back at all, which means that it's okay to land the ark. I don't know what's going to happen when the special prosecutor is going to be appointed. That will be up to the prosecuting attorney to decide. As prosecutorial discretion, my role as a reviewing official will be done, and the prosecutor can make that call at that time. My hope is that what I will have done is tried to get an independent prosecutor, someone who is not afraid to do nothing and not afraid to do something based on what that prosecutor, she or he's ideas would be. As far as the appointment of a special prosecutor, my hope is that that doesn't become a hard thing. I have people that practice in my court who are also solicitors of villages. I would think a solicitor of a village that brings traffic cases would be a perfect example of someone who might be able to be a special prosecutor. There are other people who are former prosecutors. From what I can tell now, I'm down to 86 counties left, which is to say if we take Clermont County out, we take Adams County out, that leaves 86 of the 88 counties that could be appointed. And sometimes when elected officials are involved, the Attorney General of Ohio, just to say Dave Yost, may have to come in and appoint someone after I would recommend it. So of all of the things that we've done today, I think everything before the court is finished and resolved as far as the motions, which is to say on the continuance that was withdrawn, the need to appoint a special prosecutor, that will be approved. The order of the court is going to be that the Clermont County prosecutor will not be appointed. The Adams County prosecutor's office will not be appointed. It will be another prosecutor's office or another person that this court feels is independent and can make a good decision. So I will reduce this to a written entry. The court speaks to its written entry. I will file that. The next thing that will be done is I'll select a special prosecutor, provide a copy to everybody, and then the baby will be handed off and my job will be done. So thank you all very much. If there's nothing further, I appreciate so much the courtesies today. Everybody go in peace. Thank you very much. We're off the record.
Mr. Haslam, can you take a second to comment about your residence here? Where is the truck actually registered? Mr. Haslam, do you care more about this than your cousin Kevin Gaffin going to die in prison?